Hello, hello, it's probably Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. I had a few lovely ladies ask if I would do a tutorial on this page. It's a Christmas tree, and all of the cards open up, for journaling space. Was in my flip through of my Christmas journal that I just put out. So yeah, I thought, why not? I will hurry and do a tutorial on this. It's pretty simple. So hang in there with me and we will go through it together. Okay, so the first step is to choose 4 papers that you want to make your tree out of. I am using regular scrapbook paper. It's not cardstock, although I don't know why it wouldn't work with cardstock. I'm sure it would work just fine with cardstock. But get into your stash and pick 4 papers that you would like to make your tree out of. And everybody's different. You don't have to use greens. You can use whatever color you want. I'm just kind of going with greens today. So we're going to choose 4 of these papers. And let me get my cutting board. Or my, what do you call it? My cutter. It's probably Sharon's cutter. Okay. Now I'm going to start off. You kind of decide what you want for the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I'm going to do this one for the bottom. Oh, I have 2 papers there. And I'm going to start by cutting a square that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So now this is for a page that is 5.5 inches wide. So of course, if you're doing a different size than that, you might want to adjust the size of the squares. So this will be my bottom part. So it's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inches. And then I'm just going to fold that. Try to line up those points. And just fold it in half, just like that. And sometimes you're going to have a little bit of white. And, if it's a big deal, just go ahead and trim it with your scissors. The part that's facing out, the part that you're going to see. But inking always works too. So if you want to kind of hide that, you can just ink it a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. I'll just ink it a little bit. Okay, so next, get your second paper, and we're going to cut this one 1/4 inch smaller. So 3 1/2 inches. 3 1/2 inch square. I can hardly see the lines in this trimmer. It's so old, they've just kind of, they're kind of worn away. So 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then again, I'm going to fold that. And then, remember, just, if you feel like there's some white showing, trim it off with your scissors or just do a little bit of inking, You're going to want to do that for each of the 4 sections. Okay, and now our third section, we're going to trim that one 1/4 inch smaller. So this one will be 3 1/4. Which one do I want? I'm going to do this one. We'll do this one. 3 1/4. Oh my goodness, I need a new trimmer. Oh my gosh. I could do it up there, I guess. The lines are still pretty clear up there. So this one was I'll put a little sign up so you can get the measurements of each section. And then the last one, we're going to do a 3-inch square. So you can do really fun things with this, you know, different patterns of paper, and, you know, you can make this really fun. Okay, there's our top of our tree. Let's pull that up. Okay, and then this is my ideas journal. I've been doing all kinds of tutorials on different ideas. So we've got a little bit of everything, but I'm putting the Christmas ones in the back. So I think I'm going to do it on this page. I think that was my bottom, wasn't it? Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it is just my ideas journal. It's not like this is one that I'm going to be selling, but I kind of wonder about the background. Maybe we should put a little something just to make it look a little more Christmassy. This is just coffee dyed paper that I put a stencil on. So let's see, I was working with some gift wrap this morning, making some pages, and I think I'm going to do a tutorial on that. I found out a way to use gift wrap as pages, but just by putting some other paper on the back of it. But I found a way to make it so the paper doesn't get wrinkly and ripply. It's perfectly flat and it looks so nice. So I might do a tutorial on that because I know everyone has lots of Christmas paper, and why not? Use some in your junk journal. So I'm just going to use a strip of that gift wrap, and I'm just going to put it along the edge just to add a little more Christmas to this otherwise dull page. Okay, when that dries, I will trim the ends off. Okay, then let's put something else on the other side. This is just a piece from my digital. The bottom of the tree is going to kind of take up the whole paper, but towards the top we have a little bit of room. We can, embellish it a little bit more. I think the color I'm using, this is just what's left on my dauber, but I think the last color I used was Walnut Stain Distress Ink. So that's the color I'm putting around the edge. That'll jazz it up a little bit. All right, so let's get to the tree. Okay, so we'll start with our first one. We need to kind of figure out how far away they need to be from each other. And to be honest, I usually just eyeball it, but it is nice to kind of get a feel, because we also need to have a tuck spot up here, and we need to leave room for that. Actually, let's make that now. So what I normally do is I just use a hole punch, and this is a 1.5 inch hole punch, and try to get something like cereal box. I don't want to use that one. I think that goes to one of my spines for my journals I'm working on. Okay, so I'm just going to use this thicker craft paper. Let's get that. And then I have a star punch, and the star is a little bit bigger than that circle punch, but that's the biggest circle punch I have. So the little points of the star are probably going to be poking off a little bit, but I'll just make it work. Okay, so basically I'm just going to glue the star down to the circle. And of course, if you have an angel stamp or what, you can put whatever you want up there, really, on top of the Christmas tree. That down. Yeah, see, it pokes off the edge a little bit, but it will be fine. And so this will be the top. So I'm actually going to glue that down. Well, no, I can't glue it down yet. So I need to just keep that in mind, that I need that much space at the top. I'm missing a piece. Okay, so it'll be about like that. Just so that that corner can tuck up under there. And if you wanted to put a stump or something down here, you can do that as well. I usually don't. Not a stump, a trunk, sorry. Okay. I'm going to put something to kind of hold that there for a minute while I kind of get that first one glued down. I am going to get a different bottle because this one is almost out. And it's taking too long for the glue to get down to me. So, all right, so the first one, we're just going to, we can glue all 3 sides. And I'm putting it pretty close to the bottom. And I'm making sure to leave a little bit of space so we don't have that corner sitting right in that spine. So we need to give it a little bit of room. Okay, and then for the second one, what I'm doing is flipping it, and I'm just putting the glue along the 2 short sides. So we're leaving the bottom one free so then we can tuck in the bottom triangle. We'll be able to tuck it in there. Okay, now I have to move these, so. Okay, just like that. Oop, scooting around on me. So this should be able to freely come out. All right, and then we'll do the same thing for the third and fourth one. Just gluing on the short sides. Okay, and then we can put it on our star or whatever tree topper that you want. And all I'm going to do is glue kind of the top part of it, leaving the bottom free so that we can tuck in that triangle. Okay, I'm just going to wait a minute and let this dry. Okay, I waited a few minutes and I think we're safe to tuck these in. So basically, yeah, just take the tip of those triangles and tuck it into the next one up. There you go. Then you can open them up. You have some journaling space. I mean, if you want to put little ornaments or something on it, that might be cute too. But that's how you do it. Let me know what you think. I will see you in the comments. Bye, guys.